100 years ago, the Ashmore cult was destroyed after attempting a forbidden ritual using an ancient artifact known as the Death Book. Before the cult leader died, he made a terrifying promise. When the Death Book is opened again, I will return with everyone who served me. For a century, the book remained hidden beneath the old town church, until one ordinary night, someone found it. Soon, strange symbols appeared on doors, missing people returned without aging, and hooded figures began gathering beneath the streets. The town slowly realized the cult had never truly died. It had only been waiting for someone to read the first page. Every town has secrets. Some are buried, some are forgotten. But Ashmore kept one secret that was never meant to be found. 100 years ago, the Ashmore cult vanished without a trace. The townspeople believed evil had been defeated. They were wrong. It had only fallen asleep. Hidden beneath the church was an ancient artifact, older than the town itself, a book bound in black leather. Its pages were said to write the names of the dead. The townspeople called it the Death Book. The final warning was carved into the altar. Never read the first page. No one ever questioned why. Sophia Walker, an investigative journalist, arrived in Ashmore after hearing rumors about strange disappearances. Entire families were abandoning their homes. Every house left behind had the same symbol painted on its front door. Sheriff Marcus Hale met her outside town hall. He handed her an old newspaper. The headline read, "Church Basement Opens After 100 Years. Before they could speak, the church bell rang. Once, twice, 3 times. The church had been abandoned for decades. No one should have been inside. Sophia, Sheriff Hale, and historian Daniel Brooks entered together. The church was silent. Dust covered everything, except one trail of fresh footprints, leading to the basement. The basement door stood open. A cold wind rose from below. Candles burned without melting. Someone had prepared the room. At the center of the chamber rested the Death Book. Its cover was warm, as though someone had been holding it only moments ago. Daniel carefully opened the first page. The ink began moving. Letters appeared one by one, not written, growing, like they were alive. The page formed a single name, Malachar. The candles went out. The ground began to shake. Deep beneath the church, something started breathing, slowly, heavily, as though it had waited a century for this moment. A deep voice echoed through the darkness. The first page has been read. My children, awaken. Far above, across the town, dozens of people stopped walking at the exact same moment. Then they all turned toward the church and began walking together. The church fell silent. Then every candle burst back to life. Their flames burned dark crimson. Sophia picked up the Death Book. Its pages turned by themselves. Every page revealed another name. Names of people still living inside Ashmore. Sheriff Hale recognized the names. The baker, the school teacher, the town doctor, even his own deputy. Every person had disappeared earlier that day. Outside the church, the streets filled with people. Hundreds walked together, silent, expressionless. Every face turned toward the hill. Daniel searched the ancient library beneath the altar. He discovered a forgotten journal. It belonged to the last priest who guarded the Death Book. One sentence was circled. If the cult returns, never let the 7th page be read. Before Daniel could close the journal, footsteps echoed, slow, steady, deliberate. Someone was descending the staircase. One by one, hooded figures entered the chamber. Each carried a black candle. None spoke. They simply formed a perfect circle around the altar. The final cult member removed his hood. His face was unfamiliar, yet every other cultist knelt before him. He smiled. The master is almost awake. The death book began glowing brighter. Without anyone touching it, the pages turned rapidly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then they stopped on page 7. No one read the words, but the book didn't need a voice. The glowing letters rose into the air. They became a circle of burning symbols. The chamber shook violently. Deep below, the church, the stone floor, cracked open. Molten orange light poured upward. A massive, black hand slowly emerged. Its skin looked like burning stone. Its claws scraped the ancient floor. The hooded cult bowed their heads. Together, they whispered, "The king has returned." Flames spiraled upward. The towering figure rose slowly from the darkness. Curved horns, crowned with fire. Eyes burning like molten embers. Malachar had returned. He looked directly at Sophia, then smiled. "You opened my book. Now, you will write the final chapter." At that moment, every church bell across Ashmore began ringing at once. Above the town, the clouds formed a giant circle, and something far larger than the church began moving within the storm. The church trembled. Ancient stones began to crack. Dust filled the air. Malachar had returned. The cult knelt without fear. Every hooded follower raised their black candles. Their voices merged into one. A prayer older than the town itself. Sophia opened the death book. The pages no longer listed names. Instead, they showed the town itself, street by street, house by house, as if translated the final inscription. His voice shook. "He cannot remain unless the final name is willingly written." The chamber fell silent. Everyone looked at Sophia. Malachar stepped forward. His burning eyes never blinked. "You carry the bloodline of the first guardian. Only you can complete or destroy the covenant." Sophia did not run. She reached for the ancient pen resting beside the death book. The cult smiled. They believed the ritual had already been won. Instead, she turned to the final page and wrote only 4 words. "The covenant ends today." The ink glowed bright gold, not crimson. A powerful light burst from the book. Every page began to dissolve. The ancient symbols vanished, one after another. The prayer came to an end. Malachar looked upward. For the first time, his calm expression changed. The molten cracks across his body began to fade. His flaming horns grew dim. The chamber fell quiet. One by one, the hooded robes collapsed to the floor. The people beneath them stood confused, as if awakening from a very long dream. The death book turned to ash. Its final page lifted into the air, then disappeared. With the wind, the chamber began to crumble. It was time to leave. At sunrise, the old church collapsed completely. Only its weathered bell remained standing. The town was silent, for the first time in a century. Months later, Sophia published the truth. Most people called it a legend. Others refused to speak about Ashmore ever again. But Sheriff Hale kept one secret. Hidden inside the evidence room was a single unburned page. No writing, only a blank surface. Waiting. Late one night, the evidence room security camera captured something impossible. The blank page slowly turned by itself. Then, dark letters appeared. Only one sentence was written. "Volume 2 has begun."